Go.
Hi, welcome to our second edition of Schlock Talk. Today we're doing 1950s matinee films of the horror genre. Although these ones kind of all have a sci-fi bent, I believe. I think I haven't watched all of them yet. We're starting with the first one, which is Tarantula. This movie was directed by a director named Jack Arnold, who did a lot of sci-fi films, direction in the 1950s. The movie was distributed by Universal Studio and Universal International. Let's get the title right. Universal International at first, and this movie came out about a year after the movie Them, from 1954. This particular film, Tarantula, is from 1955. It's also about a year after Godzilla. So, I think that Them is sort of might be the movie that kicked these off. I mean, there was King Kong, but that was like 22 years earlier. And there's probably some other movie that's obscure that I can't think of. Uh, these movies were sort of popular though. This one I found sort of impressive with the way they did the tarantula in it. Um, like they had filmed the tarantula, and I don't know, maybe they used some kind of special film where they had it transparent. Like I don't know how they did it, but basically the tarantula film was somehow superimposed. Maybe they just clipped it out of each picture. I don't know, but like each frame or of the real film, but they like superimposed the films in such a way that the tarantula looks real. Although it's not a very good actor at all, it just kind of just keeps going forward or stops, and they can't really get it to do what they really want. Like maybe like uh, you know um, when the gunpowder, what was it? Gunpowder dynamite blows up. It doesn't really stop. It just comes through the smoke like unperturbed. Um, what else can I say about this movie? I like open-endedness of the plot with the there's some scientists involved, and one of the scientists explains to the doctor uh, in the film that the other scientists that were with him injected each other while he was off in town or something, and that doesn't really, I think there's more to it because like why was it that he had um, why was it that he had just gone and gotten like got attacked by one of these guys who tried to inject him? That I don't think you would do that if it was just unless this other scientist who had gotten injected really wanted to inject everybody he could. I mean, I suppose that could happen, but I think there's more to it because, well, I don't want to give everything away, but let's just say I don't really trust the scientist narrative, and I don't think the filmmakers want you to trust it. Science is sort of a muck in this decade after the this era of radioactive materials that certainly features in this movie. Um, I think that's about all I had to say about it. Let me pan the camera around here for Laura, who also watched the movie with me. And what are your
I
thoughts?
think I thought it was a pretty good movie. It kind of makes me want to watch more older movies that are in black and white, and I really liked the visual effects. I thought it was pretty good for the time. The acting was pretty good too. I thought the face makeup was pretty good too. Kind of reminded me of that episode of Twilight Zone where the woman gets surgery and she looks normal, but everybody else looks kind of like a monster, and but they see her as a monster. So, but yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, what do you think of that one guy's makeup where it's all like his one eye was down on his cheek?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I was like, huh, it looks pretty real.
Yeah, because the way they did his makeup, his eye is looking out of his left socket, you know, and
Yeah.
so even though the right eye is probably just staring right ahead, they don't spend a lot of time. And they did have his left eye moving quite a bit, so you're probably looking up there and just trying to reconcile the difference in the eyes without trying to say, "Oh, that one's not moving." You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume it's not moving. It might be, but I. um, anything else you have to say about it? What do you think of having the student who's the woman named Stephanie's nicknamed Steve, and
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Like,
yeah,
maybe it was ahead of its time, but I don't know. I don't know much about the 50s.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there is that positive note. She wants to learn more about science, and then she runs into this weird doctor that.
Yeah.
Uh, I say that kind of funny the way I said it because
The ending,
more than one doctor. Really,
the ending,
yeah.
I was kind of hoping that, because there was this big guinea pig, but it probably died in the fire. But I was hoping that after the spider died, suddenly the giant guinea pig would show up.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would be the end.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't really have much of a, like, they didn't really show what happened after that. It's just kind of, the movie ended abruptly.
Well, maybe they wanted to leave it open for a sequel.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you certainly do get some other follow-up movies. There's one called The Deadly Mantis, which, as a kid, sort of intrigued me. Because when I saw The Deadly Mantis as a kid, they had it on Schlock Theater, which was on Saturday night from midnight to like 4 a.m. Sunday morning, and it was hard for me to stay up for most of those movies, and a lot of them I just got to see bits and pieces. So Deadly Mantis, I remember waking up at the end. The mantis was already dead, and that was about it. That's all I remember. Maybe I saw a little bit of the beginning, but a lot of those movies, I saw that movie years later, and I was kind of disappointed, actually. Like, I'd had that build up as a kid, because when you're watching something like that as a kid, you're getting all this imagination going, especially if you don't see the whole movie. Like me, I just saw the commercial and maybe the ending, and it's like, so since I didn't see the rest, I was putting all these pieces together. Wow, there's like this giant mantis like roaming and just pouncing on people, and that would have been pretty cool. And and then when you actually see the movie in its entirety, not all those effects are there. I'm sure that they could probably do a much better job with some of these creatures now, and they've certainly done it with some other things. But a lot of these movies now just have a different feel to them. I would say they're still trying to be serious. I mean, there's probably some funny ones like Eight-Legged Freaks and stuff, but
yeah.
I think that's about all I have to say for on it for now. The Godzilla movies, I'm sure, were kind of developed independently, although some people feel like Deadly Mantis was a ripoff of them, which came out a year before this Tarantula movie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some other ones. I do remember one, I think it's called Black Scorpion, with a giant scorpion. Matter of fact, this movie here, I thought I hadn't seen it before. I was inspired by Famous Monsters of Filmland, the very first issue, which showed pictures from this one, where the scientist's face is all disfigured. I'm like, I don't remember that. And then watching the movie, I was like, well, maybe I do. It's just some of these movies, they all just kind of became one long thing, just over time. Our heads put it together as just, that part of the movie wasn't the part that interested me. I'm sure it's the giant tarantula.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you have anything else to say about it, Laura?
No.
Okay. Well, that's it for now. I'm not quite sure what our next movie is going to be. We're going to do at least one more. So that's it for now. Stay tuned. Thanks.